Salutations everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. Pokemon Sun and Moon is finally out, so we all have our new cuddly Pokemon buddies to snuggle up with, or restarting the game over and over, hoping you get a shiny or the gender that you want for your starter. Hey, it's your adventure. With the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, Nintendo said that they were going to punish people who pirated the game early, and they did, and boy is the butt hurt palpable. It's so great seeing all these losers on the internet losing their shit. Oh my gosh, I've been banned. Why have I been banned? Damn it, Nintendo. How dare you do this? I'll never buy another product from you again. It's like, you don't buy products from them, you just steal it. So, oh, it's nice to see these terrible shit stains of human beings get their just rewards, getting account banned, and all that good nonsense. Just soaking in all that salt from those losers, idiots, who decided, I'm going to steal a game and I'm not going to get caught. And then when I do, I'm going to complain about it. Yeah, okay, sure. Sure, dudes. But possibly the bigger Pokemon news this week is the highly touted rumor that Pokemon Sun and Moon will be getting a third version, and it will be on a console for the first time ever, a mainline Pokemon game on console. This is supposedly going to be on the Nintendo Switch, coming out. It was supposed to come out mid-2017. Now it's looked like it's going to be late 2017. Rumor has it that Game Freak has been working on this game in conjunction with Sun and Moon. They had to kind of like hold off production on Sun and Moon to get this project going. It's going to be, the third version of the game like we've seen with many other Pokemon iterations, although we never did get a Pokemon Z, even though Zygarde is in Pokemon Sun and Moon, so, whatever. And it's higher textures, more polygons and all that good stuff that a console is capable of, but in the Pokemon main line of games, which is an absolutely brilliant move if Nintendo actually decides that they are going to come through this and this just isn't some, Nintendo fans' pipe dream. It's what they need to do. They need to sell the Switch in order to really stay afloat in the console competition because of the lack of success of Wii U. They decided, all right, we're going to scrap that real quick and then, do a console reboot here with the Switch. And what they need is they need games. Rumors have it that Breath of the Wild is going to be delayed and that Mario is going to become a launch title instead. And they haven't even announced there is going to be a new Mario game. We just saw a couple of seconds from that commercial that could have been a tech demo or it could have been a new game. It could have been anything. And we also would really want, Mario games, Zelda games, Metroid games, F-Zero games, Pokemon games. They need their staples, their franchises to sell this console. So they need to make the games, and if they can have the very first ever Pokemon mainline game on console, start off with this one and then maybe develop further ones, yeah, that'd be pretty freaking sweet. We got our first real ever look on the Ghost in the Shell movie with an actual trailer that came out this week. And the reactions to it are, man, it looks really good, but I wish it wasn't a white person in the lead role. That seems to be the vast majority. Of course, there are some people that's just going to hate because that's just what they love to do. Like, this is too much like the anime, or it's not enough like the anime, because you can't really deal with people and their own expectations that only they themselves can fulfill in their own fan fictions. But it does look like it's sticking to a lot of the things from the original movie, which is obviously one of the most influential films of the 21st century. If you take a look at Wachowski's work, James Cameron's work, Steven Spielberg's, they've all cited Ghost of the Shell as a huge influence on them. And now we get to see that movie in live action. We get to see the Major Kusanagi in the Depeche Mode, and we also got to see what looks like what is the opening fight of the film. And the villain isn't Laughing Man, it isn't the Puppet Master, but it's like an amalgamation of a few villains, it looks like, while taking the name of one from the anime series. So we have yet to see really what the antagonist of this film looks like, or what the plot really is going to be, but we get to see the Major in action here a little bit. We get to see Bato, which was my biggest problem with the casting. Couldn't we just get like a big dude to play Bato? Because Bato's a big dude. No Tachikomas, but hopefully they're like waiting to like reveal that for a new trailer or, you know, surprise us in the movie, because to see a Tachikoma on the big screen, that would be fantastic. But I think it looks pretty good, and I'm holding out for it. It could be another, you know, Western animation debacle, but it can be maybe one of the first good ones that absolutely stuck to the source material, but also deviated. Who knows? Another anime live adaptation that got our first teaser trailer this week was the Full Metal Alchemist movie. This is, of course, made in Japan, Japan-only actors, but it's shot in Europe, and the nationality of the characters is never fully stated, which is typical of an anime. As far as, you know, the acting choices go, we've heard who they are, but we haven't seen most of them in action. And this was just a teaser trailer. You barely get to see Alphonse at the end, but you see Edward, who is being played by a boy band star, which is how it goes in Japan. You know, your singers end up, you know, being casted in the big acting roles. That's the way things work. Just look at, like, you know, idols and their models and singers and actresses and all that stuff. So a lot of people have their hopes up for this one. You know, Japan has a shaky record themselves when it comes to adapting anime to live action. There have been some that are pretty good. There have been some that are absolutely terrible, especially when it comes to the bigger blockbuster AAA, you know, anime titles. The big ones, that seems to be the ones that they struggle most with. And Full Metal Alchemist is a big title anime. And their budgets, you know, don't seem to be on par with, you know, Americans, either adaptations or just big blockbusters as a whole. So sometimes it can suffer from that. Just look at the Attack on Titan films, and those are pretty lackluster in most people's eyes, even if they only like things that are made in Japan. Most of the times these kind of movies aren't received fairly well, but most of the time they do make money, which is the big factor, and the reason why America hasn't made many of them is because not only are they bad, but they don't make the moolah. But, I mean, if we can just gear everything towards a Chinese audience like World of Warcraft, then that's just all the movies that are going to be made. As long as they make money, doesn't matter if they're bad or good. But this was just a teaser trailer, so let's hope this one's good too. Miyazaki has unretired. It's official. I called this actually on the second ever episode of What Mattered over 2.5 years ago. You can go take a look at that. I totally called this one. I expected it sooner rather than now, but he is officially unretiring. He made a short story, Borrow the Caterpillar, for the Studio Ghibli Museum and decided that wasn't enough. I want to make it into a movie. So he's going to take this Borrow the Caterpillar, which is a tiny little vulnerable caterpillar. I don't know, but it is Miyazaki. He only does fantastic stuff. We haven't seen anything from him since The Wind Rises back in 2013, which was an amazing film. And he only prints gold. So yeah, sure, you want to make a movie about a caterpillar? Go for it, man. This is supposedly going to be taking 5 years in order to finish. And since he just turned 75, he'll be finishing the film by the time he turns 80. So, you know, that's asking a lot for a man that has really dedicated his life to anime, and as many people see as one of the founding fathers of anime, at least in the cinematic view, and the influences that he's had on manga and anime series as a whole is very, very obvious. So, yeah, I think we could all be excited for Miyazaki to do absolutely anything. And looks like it's going to Borrow the Caterpillar. Let's hope he gets to finish it and do what he wants. Because when he gets to make his ideas and fully fledge them out to be what he desires them to be, we get Miyazaki gold. And that is the most valuable shit out there. Studio Ghibli says, as long as he's still making films, there's still a Studio Ghibli, so here's hoping. There's a new MMO that launched in Japan called Chaos Saga, and boy, what a saga of chaos this game is. Less than 24 hours after it launched, it was canceled. And it's gone forever. There was supposedly maintenance very soon after the launch of this MMO, which was created by like a popular streaming service that dabbles in some games, mostly adult games, but also some other more mainstream games like an MMORPG. But it was quite obvious that, all these characters are totally stolen from Final Fantasy XI. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe they didn't want to get sued, or who knows? They didn't really say exactly why the game was canceled, but they were like, we decided to cancel it. Please don't sue. So, yeah. Chaos Saga. Sorry if you didn't get to play it for the few hours that it was out in Japan, but something tells me you weren't missing much. Anywho, that is what mattered this week. If you would like to know what matters in the future, hit the subscribe button. One of these videos comes out every single Saturday. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave your comments below on anything that I mentioned this week, and I'll see you next time.